What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Unsolicited with Sam and Jordyn. I am Sam. This is Jordyn, and we have so much to get into today. There's so many different topics in the Sam and Jordyn multiverse that is just all over the place. But as Jordyn and I were talking about right before we started recording, we do have some things that are a more serious and sad tone to talk about today. And that's, of course, remembering One Direction member and artist Liam Payne, who passed away last week. Jordyn, please share with me how you're feeling and how it was like when you heard the news, things like that.
It was me finding out was a whirlwind experience. I was driving home from work and I got a text from my best friend Robbie. And literally he just sent a tweet. It was completely in Spanish, just saying like Liam Payne's dead. And I was like, what the heck? I was like, Robbie, I'm not seeing like any news about this. Like this has to be fake. Like I immediately was just like, this is a really fucked up rumor given everything that's going on. And then quickly it like once it was out, it was rapid fire. I blew up Sam's phone just because I was very worried about her and I'd rather her hear it from a person than like the CNN notification. But I forgot she had a very important work event that night. So I'm texting her. I'm like, Sam, please text me back before you open Instagram or Twitter. I was like, do not do anything. Do not think about anything. Like text me. Sam was obviously working. And then after like a while, the notifications were going out. I was like, she's going to know. Like, I was like, is she okay? Like, does she already know? I was freaking out for Sam's mental being. And I literally, like I said, was driving home from work and pulled into the ShopRite parking lot. I was on the way to the grocery store and just cried. Like, it was just like very overwhelming. And we've talked about One Direction on the show many times. And One Direction for me was very, like, I was an early on One Direction fan. Like, I was an X Factor fan, turned One Direction fan. And then as I grew up, I didn't like them. Like, I wasn't as crazy of a fan. So, like, initially I was like, oh, like, this is very sad, but I didn't think it would affect me as bad as it did. But it's just rekindled so much. Like, it's brought out so many things that I forgot about, like, from my childhood, like the Staircase series and, like, just all these inside things. That I was like, that was such a big, like, it's things you don't think about until they're gone.
Yeah.
And it was just like, that was my childhood. Like, I'm grieving for my middle school self that, like, this would have completely destroyed. And I'm grieving for the other boys, just because there was so much left unsaid between them. I'm grieving. He has a 7-year-old son that is I must have been in a time freeze. I was like, my mom was like, how old is his son? I was like, oh, Bear's like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh no, he's 7 now. Like, he's a functioning person. And it's like, he's going to read all these things and understand all these things about his dad that no child should ever be like able to understand. And it's such a complex thing. And yeah, it's been really, really eating at me. It's awful. I know you were a big One Direction fan. We've talked about that before. How are you kind of reacting to all of it? Because also the one thing that I think me and Spencer talked about, I feel like all of us were secretly, it may have been denial, but like we were all under the impression that at some point in our lives, One Direction would have like a big reunion tour or do something. Like, I was still so convinced that I would see them as a whole again. And I think that's also been the hardest thing to accept, but I want you to take over now.
That is like not a thought that has come to my brain yet. As someone who saw One Direction, the fact that that will never happen ever again is like crazy to think about. But yeah, as Jordyn said, I was at a work event and I had my phone on the floor underneath the camera and it was facing up. And I was interviewing athletes. So I was like, going back and forth, and I kept seeing it light up. And I'm like, whatever, I get ESPN notifications, like Ring notifications. I get all these different notifications. So I'm like not even thinking anything of it. And we finally interviewed the last person And I turned and I looked at my cameraman who was literally standing there about to say something to me. And I looked down and I picked up my phone. And unfortunately, Jordyn, it was a news notification that I saw.
No, that's not what I wanted for you.
I saw the news notification and it was like, I don't know, maybe like the Huffington Post or something, like something random that like Apple News sends you. And I went and I looked up at my camera guy and I was like, is Liam Payne dead? And he goes, I was gonna tell you. He's like, you looked at your phone before I had a chance to say anything. And I was like, holy shit. And like, I was like, wait. And then that's when I opened my phone. I had like 20 text messages. I saw yours at the top. So I opened yours and I saw like, don't open anything, don't do anything. Like, all this, and I'm like, oh no. And I was like, I literally didn't even know. Like, I was so overstimulated because I was like on a red carpet and getting messages and seeing this and like also packing up because we had to leave. And like, it was just like, I did not have a moment to like figure out what was going on. And then finally, I got in an Uber to go home. And that's when I like finally was like, okay, I can look at my phone and like process. And I'm looking at it and I'm reading out all the text messages. And I'm like, holy shit, like Liam Payne's dead. Like, that is like not something that I was ever anticipating happening. And of course, there's been all these reports on the reason he died, the drugs, the lashing out. Like, obviously, it was not like a very peaceful thing, unfortunately. And I just like I didn't really process it till the next morning. And that's when like I was like, holy shit, like Harry Styles is grieving, Niall Horan's grieving, Zayn Malik's grieving, Louis Tomlinson is grieving. And I was like, oh. And then I follow Harry's mom on Instagram. I saw her post. And that's when I was like, oh my God. Like, I think it's like because the boys didn't say anything at first, you don't like, obviously they know, but like at the same time, you're just like, where are they at? So when Harry's mom posted that, I was like, holy shit, like Harry Styles knows this. And I really like got in my feels. And I then, of course, freaking TikTok has like all these fucking edits and songs. And that's when it really hit me. And I like had my moment of like crying. That I was like, for him, for his family, for One Direction as a whole, and then like for like you said, my middle school, not even my high school self. I was a freshman in high school when One Direction was formed. So it was like just an insane and not at all situation that I thought we would be in. And there's been so many celebrities who have passed away, right? Like Michael Jackson was like a big one. For us, though, for our generation, this is like the big one or the first one because it's like we haven't experienced that yet because everybody's so young.
I went through it with Mac Miller, which is something
Yes,
I
right, yeah,
still haven't like this for me. It's the biggest loss. Like I didn't think anything would come close to that feeling. And this, I don't
yeah.
know if it's past it because Mac Miller was like so prevalent in my life, like when it happened. And I was just like, what? Like,
Mhm.
but this is like the closest it's come. And it's I was weeping in bed last night, like literally
Yeah,
could not sleep. I was getting all these edits and it's all just like I said, like old memories and like watching them sing together. And like someone made an edit of like their last hug. Someone made an edit of them to Peter by Taylor Swift. You said you were going to grow up and you said you were going to come find me. And I lost it, like fully lost it. And I was like, holy shit. Because like I said, like I was a huge One Direction fan. They blew up. I kind of took a step back from them. Like you don't expect them to die.
yeah,
Like he was a 31-year-old man. And I know people have had a lot of conflicting feelings about it just
sure.
because of
Mhm.
a lot of reports that have come out about Liam's behavior and the way he's treated past relationships. And like, I also like whoever's feeling conflicted about it, like that's also valid. Like Liam
Absolutely.
was not a perfect person. And I hate like there are so many things that can be true at one time, which I think is such a
Yes.
complex thing to understand because like Maya Henry, who, for those that don't fully know the situation, Maya Henry was Liam's ex-girlfriend. They were in this really on again, off again. Were they engaged at one point?
possible.
They
I'm
were
not
in a
sure
very
though.
serious on and off relationship. I can't remember if they were engaged or not.
Uh-huh.
But on and off for years. And then she recently, like within the last month, came out that she's writing a book and she's been speaking out about the mental and physical abuse that Liam put her through. And just I don't want her to feel like any of this is her fault because also
Yeah.
like that's her truth and like she experienced that and she deserves to talk about it. Like that's her story. Like and then also it's just so heartbreaking because like of everything like I'm remembering the person that Liam Payne was and like there was so much trauma that he went through that got him to this point. So it's like I'm just so frustrated because I'm like so much like one thing could have been different that like changed all of this and it's just
Yeah.
so devastating and there's so many complex layers to it. Like it's not just like a black and white situation, but it's just awful. And I'm so sad about like I literally texted my
Yeah.
mom a few days after and was like, I can't stop thinking about it. Like
Yeah.
it's a very eerie feeling. And again, someone you don't know. Like I saw him live in person 2 times in my life. Like
Same, yeah. I just looked it up. They were engaged.
yeah,
They got
okay.
engaged in 2020 and then they broke up and then they got back together. So again, it's like that on and off relationship. But yeah, honestly, the one thing though is that like I was kind of getting One Direction stuff on my TikTok fairly recently, like a month or so ago. And like now I'm getting even more things and it's all the old stuff like you were talking about, like the staircase series and like it's like horrible to make any sort of joke because it's very fresh, but like I saw someone pick up all their spoons and like throw them out and they were like this is for Liam and it's like because there was like a whole thing when they were young is like Liam hates spoons and like it's funny but at the same time it's still like oh my god, you know what I
See,
mean?
I'm the type of person like I appreciate humor through grief. Like
Yeah, yeah.
things like that, that's what makes me get through it. And I know everyone experiences things differently. Like it's a very some people are like, no, like I just want to be sad right now. But I
Mhm.
think things like that are funny. And I think he would laugh at that. Like
Yeah, and
I think
like
the boys would laugh at that.
I think so too. I think so too. And like I saw obviously they've been making these like amazing memorial sites in Argentina and in the United States like and people are standing around and like I saw one where like people were like singing night changes together which was like so
Yeah.
gorgeous. And then there's like another clip of them singing
Strip it
yeah. So
down.
it was like they were like everybody was just like when the music stops, strip that down for me, baby. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like I understand that was his song, but it's like inappropriate yet it makes sense. I don't know. It's like I get it and it's so funny, but
Yes.
also like we're still like remembering him in like a good way. I don't know. I'm like trying to like formulate my thoughts right now and it's like not working.
I also just I think the situation in and of itself is really, really hard because Liam obviously he spoke out. He struggled with alcohol, he struggled with drugs, he struggled with mental health. Like this is something that ate at him. But I, in that moment, with everything that's come out, like it was just a freak accident. And like I personally, and I don't know if this is too sensitive to talk about, but I don't think it was intentional given
Yeah,
everything
I agree.
like, I think he was on in a drug haze. He was clearly freaking out. Like, there was so much that led up to it, but like, it shouldn't have been the end. Like, and that's what I think makes it harder.
Yeah, and now I've just been listening to One Direction on repeat,
Constantly.
like, since last week, and I feel like everything means something different
Yes.
now.
Like, I'm like, what if One Direction was to one day do like a tribute, like, what could they sing that isn't so devastating because like they can't sing story of my life. His lyric literally was, and when I die, these words will be written on my stone. Like that's really morbid now. Night changes is painful. Like there's just so many that like hurt.
I
Moments killed me.
oh, Moments was rough.
Rough.
Moments was rough, but it's also if they do, someone else is gonna have to sing his part, and that's, like, also, like, incredibly, incredibly sad to think about, And I the one that got me was "Walking in the Wind" from the Made in the AM album. Um, and, like, it was just the 2nd verse, and I was like, "Holy shit, like, I can't listen to this." But it's, like, such a it's, like, fits the like, perfectly.
Yep.
And it's like, I hope they're kinda going through it together, like, I hope they're reaching out to each other and, like, I understand there was some weird relationships with Zayn leaving the band and, like, all that kind of thing, but, like, I really hope that, like, they're all together or at least,
In communication.
communication, yeah, just to have somebody to talk to about this because and, like, oh my god, it's like Cher Lloyd was posting stuff.
Yep.
Danielle Peaser, who is, like, one of Liam's ex-girlfriends from back in the day, like, all these different people were posting, and I was like, you don't even realize how many people are affected by it until, like, that kinda stuff comes out.
I saw so many, like, old Twitter accounts and names that I, like, wiped from my memory,
Yeah,
and I was just like, "Wow." Like, I just got chills. It's just awful. I'm like, I really hope that this does bring them together. Not even me saying, like, perform or do something, like, just as,
right.
like, they deserve that closure, and, like, without being able to get that from Liam, they'll never feel it completely, but I feel like there was so much left unsaid between all of them, and I hope that this is kinda like a wake-up call, like, life is short, and, like, maybe this will force them to have those conversations, so at least the 4 of them, again, they never have to perform together again. Like, whatever, this is not about music, this is not about, like, the fans, like,
Yeah,
just for their own sake. Like, they had something so special and so huge. Like, it doesn't have to be as separate as it is.
yeah, yeah, it's just still just kind of like it's real and then it's not real, and then you remember it, and then it's real again, and it's like,
Yeah.
that's just kind of grief, and he impacted a lot of people, and that band impacted a lot of people, especially people our age, and it's just kinda like the way people are remembering though, and the way that people are tributing him is very beautiful and very healthy, and, it's just kind of nice that as a community, people are kinda, like, coming back together and, like it's almost like a reunion in terms of fans, right?
Yes.
It's like all these people who were diehard Directioners, like, I had, like, that like, we've talked about it, the Tumblrs, the Twitters, everything, and, like, those people obviously, like, people have moved on, people have jobs, people have families, kids now, and it's like, all of a sudden, it's like we're back in 2010, and it's,
Yes.
like, so weird to think about, but at the same time, it's, like, really kind of beautiful,
It
and it's
is.
sad that it comes out of something so sad, but, like, I just love watching communities come together.
Yes.
It's just a really, really nice, peaceful thing, and it's, like, kinda restores your faith in humanity a little bit, but, yeah, overall, Imma miss him.
Me too.
Imma miss him.
Me
Despite
too.
whatever he was saying on radio shows here, there, or the other thing, whatever comments he made, I listened to his music. I was still supporting them no matter what, so it's definitely gonna be a journey for
It is.
everyone.
It is. And yeah, just not that any of them will ever hear this, but just sending love to all of his loved ones, his son, the guys. Just awful.
Yeah, and I don't think there's really any clean
There's no good.
transition out of this.
I was just trying.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Jordan.
I don't know. I'm just ripping the Band-Aid off.
It's fine, it's fine. If anybody wants to share a story about Liam Payne, drop it in the comments.
Yes,
Let us
we are
know.
here. We will vent back and forth with each other about our favorite Liam Payne
Absolutely.
moments. This is a
We
safe Liam Payne One Direction space.
yes, we always try to keep track of, like, our YouTube comments too, so definitely drop it down there. But in terms of the music world, ripping the Band-Aid off, Taylor Swift deleted all of her tweets. And now we're back on the reputation train.
Does this feel
So
fucked up?
what?
Does this feel fucked up? I feel awful talking about other things.
I mean, the show
We
must go
have
on.
to. The show must go on.
It must go on. So it's just kind of the nature of the beast in this world,
Yep.
unfortunately. But yes, we're talking Taylor Swift now. We have 15 more Eras Tour shows to go, and Taylor Swift deleted all of her tweets.
Yeah.
and it's definitely did you see the whole breakdown of her caption from her Instagram
Yes.
post?
And I
Crazy.
also saw, this wasn't on Twitter, so there's a higher chance of it being true, that in the back of the for those that don't know, I suck at Twitter and I keep breaking news to everyone that is just from parody accounts and not real. I was fully convinced Sabrina Carpenter announced a deluxe album today. And the reason I texted you, Sam, was because it had a Renee Rapp and a Chappell Roan feature on it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It was fake.
yeah, it was very fake. I was like she was like, "Yeah, deluxe," and I was like, "Oh, how exciting," and then I went, "Where is this announcement? I'm not seeing it anywhere," and she was like, "Never mind. I'm
It's
done."
because it wasn't real.
It wasn't real.
It literally, I opened Twitter and it was the first thing I saw. I didn't fact check or do anything. And
It'd be like that sometimes.
Twitter's tough. Twitter's tricky. Anyhow, the on the back of the Reputation outfits, obviously we had the one red one for the entire length of the Eras Tour up until Miami Night one. She comes out in the iconic gold. Stadium goes absolutely feral.
Mhm.
Apparently in the back of the red Reputation bodysuit, there was like an awkward 11 stitched into it. And apparently on the back of the gold one, someone found a 2. And then in the Look What You Made Me Do music video, her hand is on like a gold thing and it says Caesar's last words. And she's playing next in New Orleans on 11/2 in the Caesar Superdome.
I can't do this anymore.
I mean, we've been playing these fucking games for 2 years.
I can't do this anymore.
And I believe every theory. Every time I'm like, this is the one.
Every time. Someone's just like, "The smallest thing happened." I'm like, "You're right." And I'm fully convinced. But yeah, as much as I love the Eras Tour, I'm actually kind of excited for it to end.
Oh,
Because,
why?
like, I just can't keep up with it anymore.
Oh, it's a lot.
I'm tired. I'm tired. I just want her to just announce an album. I don't even care. I don't even care anymore. But yeah, I saw that she mentions in her caption on Instagram that she was like, "It's so fun when the audience recognizes when I have different outfits," or something along those lines. And I'm like, "Okay, obviously we're pointing out the outfits." And then she said, thank you to the audience," and then like the people online, and someone was like, not her making the live streams canon, like not her realizing like we're all watching at all times. And it's like I just became very like I don't know, like very like, oh my god, like she can see everything
Yeah.
and hear everything. And it's like kind of freaking me out. And I just like I need that separation. I need it because it's too real for me. It's too real.
No, I like forget all the time that like when I am scrolling on TikTok and there's like a viral Taylor Swift TikTok, like she could also be laying in bed and like I'm sure she does
Yeah.
see these videos. I mean, everyone like she does like things on TikTok, like and they're
Yeah.
all public. So she's commenting doing her thing. And my favorite comment, we've talked about this before, like viral TikTok comments.
Yeah.
My favorite now is like, I really hope Taylor sees this, or like, I
Yeah.
really want Taylor to see this. And it'll be like, or like, Taylor deserves to see this. And it's like an absurd Travis Kelce edit. Like,
Yeah. Like someone send this to her right now.
yes. But no,
That's
it is
actually really funny.
crazy. I also saw a theory that she's not teasing Reputation at all, but rather she's teasing TS12, which is going to be yellow themed. And I watched multiple videos on that.
I can't do it anymore.
I'm just
Can't.
confused.
And people are talking about debutation, you know,
Yes.
the double release of Reputation and Debut, and I'm like, first of all, I don't believe in any double drops. I don't think
We
I
already got
know
the double drop with
I mean like two
Poet.
different albums.
Oh yeah.
I don't believe in the fact that she would do Reputation and Debut on the same day or around the same time
I don't
because
think so.
every album has its own era. Like that's the whole point of this whole thing. Everything has its own era and everything has its own space. And it's just like also I know that she's not in it for the money. Marketing wise, it's a horrible decision.
100%.
It doesn't make any sense to release both albums at the same time.
But also, I understand fully. Taylor Swift is a billionaire. A billionaire. The girl is not worried about money. The only thing that confuses me about the re-recordings too is like the longer that she waits, like they're still owned by someone else right now. And I'm like, don't you want them back? Like
I don't understand what the wait is. Did we get Fearless before we started this podcast?
Or years before.
Yeah, like a year before, right?
I think we got Fearless before we ever worked at Mojo.
No.
Yeah, it's been a long fucking time.
Release date April 9th, 2021.
Yeah. Like that, it's been 3 years. Almost 4.
Wait, so we started this podcast last year, 2023. Yeah. Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah,
We
no.
weren't even working together yet.
No. Because me and Robbie like recorded a YouTube video for it, and that's when he was still doing YouTube music. So like I remember the night it came out, and it was a long time ago.
So she's been releasing these albums over the course of 3 years already.
Yeah, and we got 2 new ones.
And we got 2 new ones.
The girl has not slept. We've gotten, since the pandemic, we have gotten Folklore, and this is not going to be in perfect order, so forgive me. We've gotten Folklore, we've gotten Evermore, we got the Fearless re-recording, we got the Red re-recording, we got Midnights, we got the Midnights Deluxe, we got the Midnights Till Dawn edition, we got the 1989 re-recording, we got the Speak Now re-recording, we got the Tortured Poets Department, we got the Anthology. Is there anything I'm forgetting?
I think you hit it all, and you hit it in fairly good order, I think.
Oh, thank you. I think the only one I switched was Speak Now, and
yeah, you did a good job.
Thank you.
But you're 100% right. This girl she just has so much in her tank. I don't know when she refills or anything like that, but unless she's running on fumes, but I don't think so. She's way too powerful for that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure before this tour is over, we'll get the Reputation announcement, and then at the end, like that's it. I don't think we're getting any sort of debut or TS12 or anything like that. I think we're getting Reputation.
I think she wants to give, even if it's short, she wants to give each a moment, which valid, as she should.
Yeah, and it's like we get new albums, and like I'm still processing Tortured Poets Department. I'm still listening to it and going, oh yeah, okay.
That was also a hefty album to digest.
Literally. I can't even. Yeah, go for it.
I was going to say, it took me like 2 weeks just to figure out what titles went with what lyrics. Like, I was like, I know this lyric, but I don't know what song it's attributed to.
I literally can't even imagine the idea of a Taylor Swift Taylor's version and a Reputation Taylor's version coming out at the same time, because my brain cannot comprehend it.
No.
There's like, I don't think anybody would be able to comprehend it, because it's like, well, which one do you listen to? And then you're split, and then you can't even appreciate one or the other because you're focused on both of them.
And there's such different vibes. And like, I want my little country era. Like, I want Debut to have its own era, because also Debut never gets the recognition it deserves. And I think the second that we hear it with newer instrumentals, better recording, her matured, deeper voice, those lyrics are going to hit, and Debut is going to skyrocket in popularity.
I'm thinking about Tied Together with a Smile all the time. All of the fucking time I'm thinking about that song and how I'm going to feel when I listen to it again.
I'm going to pass away. A Place in This World. Cold as You.
Mary's Song.
Mary's Song is one of my favorite songs of all fucking time.
It's so good.
And also, do you think she's going to put the original lyric back in Picture a Bird?
She has to. We need homophobic version.
We do!
I love the TikToks. I've seen like 2 or 3 of them now. The TikToks of people opening their iPod or their iPod Touch or something, and they're just like, hold the fuck on, and they're fucking doing it with their thumb and scrolling down to T, picking dit and going in, and they're like, yeah, we still got it. It was not a dream. We had Taylor Swift saying she's gonna tell your friends that you're gay as a roast, not in a fun way.
Not in a fun
And I'm
way.
just like, and like that was country music though.
Yep.
Country music is like a little bit homophobic, racist, sexist.
That was so valid and real for the time. It was also valid and real when she changed it. But now we are at a point, and if I'm wrong, everyone can let me know. But I know all of my gay friends have signed off on it. We are good to go. Like, let's bring it back.
I think it's because, Taylor is curated towards, the girls, the gays and the theys.
She's an
ally. And like, I think they, as you're saying, they want it. Like, they are like, I want to scream, you're gay.
Yep.
Like, that's like going to be like insane.
It's just fun. It's so fun.
I am like probably 99.9% sure that she's not going to, though.
The fact that she changed the Better Than Revenge lyric proves, I think, that she won't. But I'm just going to keep, because in theory, if she did, I would be the happiest person ever.
One of my favorite TikTok sounds is the one where someone edited it to just say, you're gay! And your mama don't know. It's so funny every time. And it's the same thing.
Love it. I love it. But yeah, we may eventually get Reputation. We may not. We've been waiting for it for 2 years.
We've been waiting a long time. Since Midnights. Since she announced Midnights, we were sitting there going, You're gonna announce Reputation. Nope.
No, Sam, I'll raise you one.
Oh boy.
If I had 2 nickels for every time that I sat down for an award show and was convinced that Taylor Swift was going to drop Reputation and instead announced a brand new album, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's so fucking weird that it happened twice.
I think I made that TikTok the night that she announced Tortured Poets Department.
No, I think it's somewhere in there. And I put the night that she was and the night that she did announce Tortured Poets, I made a TikTok that day, and I was like, I make sports content for the girlies. Now I'm going to make Taylor Swift content for the guys. Like, Taylor Swift is announcing Reputation tonight. Like, here are facts you should know for your girlfriend. And then everyone commented, and they were like, you don't know what you're talking about. I was like, well, now you boys know how it feels to be a Swiftie. Get used to it.
What you're talking. This goes to show women can talk about anything, and men will say, nope, you're wrong. Doesn't matter what it is.
Nope. I was like, oh, okay, boys.
They're like, you don't know what you're talking about.
You don't get the lore, okay?
There's so much lore.
There's so much lore.
But I'm excited to watch these last 15 shows or hear and see pictures. But again, once next year rolls around, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna take a breath. And I'm gonna be like, okay. And I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna watch the Chiefs in the Super Bowl for the umpteenth time.
No, Sam, I swear
it's gonna happen.
No, I'm saying it on the podcast. If Lamar Jackson does not go to the Super Bowl this year, I am legitimately going to lose my mind. I have never wanted anything more. I wanted the Eagles. Obviously, I want them to go to the Super Bowl. With the way that we have I was convinced, we all saw the reel of me yelling at Sam. I was convinced that we were a Super Bowl team. We had a great performance last week. We're very up and down. I still think the Eagles can go to the Super Bowl if everything kind of starts clicking. The NFC is kind of like wide open. It's a hot mess right now. So I think there's a chance. But on the AFC side, I swear to God, if Lamar Jackson doesn't get there, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I am the sick obsession with him. I don't know what it is about this season. It's so much worse. I am. And I think it's because I'm realizing like this is the height of his career. And like, if he doesn't go to the Super Bowl soon, he may never. And if I have to live my entire life defending Lamar Jackson and hearing people say, well, he couldn't have been one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time because he didn't go to the Super Bowl. Like I'm not having the argument for the rest of my life. I want him to win the next 5 Super Bowls. Like I am This is very important to me.
Yeah. I'm gonna expose you right now. I'm
Do
gonna
it.
read the text that you sent me.
Do it.
The Eagles are going to lose to him, and I don't even care.
I don't care. Let Lamar have it. This is, and lose to him. Granted, I didn't mean the Super Bowl. I meant when we play them in like 2 or 3 weeks. But yeah, give them the win. I initially said, yeah, we can go into I forget what their stadium's called. M something.
M&T Bank.
M&T. I was gonna say MATNT, but I was like a mixing doubt, whatever. We'll go into their stadium. Before the season started, I was like, fuck yeah, not even worried about it. We can beat them. Let the Ravens beat us. Give it to Lamar. Like, this is his year. He needs as many wins. I love the TikToks of like, and no one can call me a fucking bandwagon because Lamar Jackson has meant everything to me for years.
Correct.
But it's just like the tension is heating up. And every year I'm like, oh, this is a big tangent for me.
Keep going.
I just need it. And I swear to God, if I have to watch the Chiefs in the Super Bowl again, I'm gonna be unwell.
I know.
Oh,
Well,
is the Super Bowl logo purple this year?
no, it's like red and orange, I think.
No.
It's
Or was it purple last year?
It was purple and red last year. Super Bowl.
No!
Okay. Oh no, it's like red, and then it has like neon green, like accents in it.
Oh my God, maybe the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl.
Well, last year was purple and red, and it was two red teams. So,
I'm convinced the NFL actually does rig the Super Bowl teams.
I don't know.
I'm so kidding.
No, I know, but also I don't know. It's very possible.
I need it. This NFL season is literally the most confusing, overwhelming NFL season I've ever experienced. But the Eagles did have a good week last week. I got to enjoy watching them for the first time in a while, so that was really fun. Sam, what are your thoughts?
I didn't like sit down and just watch that game because I only had one screen. So I was like, I'm gonna put Red Zone on so that way I can keep up with everything and it'll cut to the Giants Eagles game with the important parts basically. And yeah, I was really happy I wasn't watching it because it was just disgusting and horrible. And Daniel Jones is gone at the end of this year. I don't care what anybody says. You know, we talked about this earlier 7 weeks ago, and I'm like, there's no freaking way this kid's gonna be around. I really, really hate that Saquon's such a good person because I want to hate him so bad, but he was so good this Sunday. And I saw the video of Nick Sirianni saying, like, do you want your career high? And he was like, no, it's fine. And I'm like, God damn it, you're such a good person. And I appreciate you and I'll always support you no matter what. But I can't do this. I hate seeing him like this.
Did you see that he went into the Giants like locker room and like found the old personnel and like just like chatted with them?
Oh my God. No,
like,
I didn't see that.
Not like coach it, like just like workers of the facility. And he just like went to see them. And I was like,
he's just such a good person.
Also, I'm not trying to be mean. Did you see the mic'd up of him when AJ Brown scored like the absurd touchdown?
No.
I need to send it to you because it's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
I just like, you could definitely, and like this always happens, like every time the Giants play the Eagles, at least in MetLife Stadium, it's just like, it's not a home game. You know, Philadelphia comes up the turnpike and you know, they do what they need to do and they run all over us. And again, we've talked about this. I've talked about it for the last 6 years. I've been a Daniel Jones supporter for a very, very long time. And I am like, I understand that it's time to go. I'm not going to hold on, but I'm also not going to bash the guy because he's also like, there's not just solitarily his fault. There's a lot of shit wrong, but unfortunately he's going to go and we're just going to draft somebody new, whatever, Carson Beck or whoever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, it was just, I was happy to be watching Red Zone. I was just like, and like Scott Hansen would be like, all right, and we're cutting to the Eagles Giants game. And I was like, no, I don't want to see it.
That's how I felt when the Eagles were playing the Bucks.
Fair.
That I did not. That was the first game, the only game so far this season that I was not strictly watching the Eagles game. I shut it off.
Fair.
Because no need to watch that. No need to do that to yourself.
I just think that, well, the Eagles are definitely, as a whole, better than the New York Giants. That's just kind of visually noticeable. But as a whole, between the two teams, like, neither of them are good enough to, one, go to Super Bowl at all. But, like, I don't even know if the Eagles are going to go to the playoffs.
Literally, I'm on a high after last week because, like, literally going into that game, me and Brian verbally said, like, we just want to see a game where we win by 30. Like, we needed that blowout to feel good. And if we have a tough couple games coming up, like we played the Bengals in Cincinnati next. So next podcast episode, I should be able to give you a clearer mindset of how I feel on the Eagles. Because, like, if we go and blow out the Giants, and Sam, I mean this with no disrespect, like, that doesn't mean as much to me. You guys are in, and again, I give Sam credit. I was like, your defense makes me nervous. Your poor Giants defense is being wasted with no offense right now.
I know.
But, I think if we can go out, even if we lose to the Bengals, if we're in it, we'll see. Like I said, the NFC is wide open, but I just don't think the Eagles really will do anything until Nick Sirianni's gone.
Yeah, and I think you're right.
I don't know if they're going to fire him, like, because, like, we have some hope. I don't know if they're going to fire him halfway through the year unless we have this crazy fall off again. I'm happy with them right now. I want to give them all the credit in the world for last week. Great performance. Everyone stepped up, but I'm not, like, I don't have, like, full faith in them yet. They can destroy me at any time right now.
Yeah. No, I think you're 100% right, though. And any Eagles fan that talks about Nick Sirianni going to the Super Bowl, he was riding the wave.
He had Shane Steichen.
Correct. He had Shane Steichen. You guys just had Doug Peterson, Nick Foles. Like, there was a wave, and there was a confidence boost. And, like, if you got the wave, ride it. Like, props to you guys for sticking with it. But I don't think he got you guys to the Super Bowl. No. I think it was the players.
And that's, like, we've had 3 different offensive coordinators since that, and our offense looks the same every year. And I'm like, I wonder who's to blame for that. Like, it's the same thing with, like, when the Chicago Bears would just bring a new quarterback in, kill him, wonder why he's not doing well, and then do it all over again. It's like, and then they had a bunch of different coaches. I'm like, clearly there's something, like it's you. And now it's like we're getting that, like, which is the clarification we needed. Like, hey, like, we can now pinpoint exactly where the problem is.
Yeah. It's literally that Eric Andre meme when he, like, shoots Hannibal Buress and he turns around and he's just like, why would he do that?
Yes.
That's Nick Sirianni.
100,000%. And it's just like, it's so crazy to me.
Well, I feel like we're not on the same playing field, but we're on similar fields to the fact that, like, we're both just like, neither of our teams are good enough to win anything right now. And it's just kind of the bottom line.
I don't think I'm there yet. I still have some false confidence. I don't know where it's coming from. I'm still riding the wave that I had coming in from the offseason where I was like, all of our problems are going to be solved. And then we had a good game. Like I said, we'll see how we play against the Bengals. Next week, I'll be able to be more level-headed or at least, like, actually confident. Right now, I'm like, because I don't want to give up. Like, I'm not ready to accept yet.
And I might just be a salty Giants fan who's just on the outside going, you guys aren't going to go anywhere.
I know. Like, we need some unbiased opinions about the Eagles. I need everyone to let me know. It's just so frustrating because we have so much fucking talent on offense, at least.
You do. And I like Jalen Hurts. I really do. And I think that he does have still a lot of potential, but it's not going anywhere right now.
No.
But to quickly go into just one of our segments, we're bringing back Sammy Rappaport and Jordy Schefter with Per Sources, because of the DeAndre Hopkins trade. This morning, Jordyn sends me a text that just says, "They hit the Pentagon." And I opened it up. I literally had opened my eyes from my rest, and I went, "Oh." And then I saw like this big thing with sirens, and it was like DeAndre Hopkins to the Chief, and I was like, "Oh." And then I put my phone down and I went back to sleep for a little bit. And then I woke up again and I went, "Oh no." And I was very, very, very upset.
Yep. No, I am distraught. Multiple angles. I'm not going to go back in my full Lamar Jackson rant again.
Fair.
However, I said literally the text with my mother. She texted me, DeAndre Hopkins is a chief, and chief is in all capital letters. And I said, I know, I'm miserable. And she said, "Oh, but it's Taylor's team." And I said, "I know, but if Lamar Jackson doesn't go to the Super Bowl this year, I will legitimately never recover." And she goes, "LOL." And I said, "This isn't funny." And she never answered me.
She's like, "I don't have time to unpack all this right now, Jordyn."
Yeah. But no, so there's that aspect where I'm like, literally, you guys are just scared of Lamar. And then the other aspect is I am obsessed with DeAndre Hopkins. And it's like, why do you keep going to these annoying ass teams where I can feel like I just want to watch you be DeAndre Hopkins? Like, and now if you are DeAndre Hopkins, this is the place to do it. But now I can't root for you. So it just sucks.
I mean, you can root for him as a player, as his statistics. He can still do well, and the Chiefs don't. It's like fantasy, you know? It's like you can root for a player to do well, but doesn't necessarily mean their team's going to be the best. But yeah, but it's the Chiefs.
But it's the Chiefs.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely they were on the hunt. You know, there were the Tyreek Hill rumors a couple weeks ago.
It's a brilliant move from them, which is what makes it even more annoying.
And that's the crappy part, is because we see how Patrick Mahomes plays with guys like Carson Steele, who's like a fullback with a fucking alligator named Crocky J.
Yeah.
Cool.
Who they mention, if they're in prime time, they mention 18 times.
Every single time. It's like,
get it. He has a crocodile.
Like, yeah. No, the thing is, though, it's an alligator.
Yeah.
But his name's Crocky J. It's so stupid. Anyway, and you know, obviously Travis Kelce has been a big thing this year. He's not getting as many reps as normal. And it's like Patrick Mahomes can do all that with a more lackluster offense. So when you put someone like DeAndre Hopkins, despite him being a older wide receiver, Patrick Mahomes is going to put the ball in his hands, and he's going to look phenomenal because he is phenomenal. Yeah. And I mean, it will be fun to see DeAndre Hopkins as like old D-Hop again, though. You know what I mean? Like, I miss the Houston days.
It will. And you know what? This is his best chance of getting a ring.
True. Very true. If Juju Smith-Schuster has a ring, DeAndre Hopkins should have a ring.
No, like that like tears me up inside.
I can't get over that. But anyway, DeAndre Hopkins is I didn't even think like he was like on the market, but I guess with like
they got him for less than we got Jahan Dotson for.
Yeah. And the Titans are still paying him. It's like kind of like the Steelers Broncos situation with Russ. Like which we have to talk about.
Yeah.
Because holy shit. Russell Wilson said, "You thought, bitch, here I am," and fucking balled out like nobody's business. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, that made me really sad because Justin Fields has been playing so well. And I was like, he's done it. He's got it. He won the job. And then they throw Russell in. And like, I have nothing against Russell Wilson. Like, if he comes back to being the Russell Wilson from the Seahawks, like, all power to him. But like, I just so badly wanted him to suck because the Steelers aren't paying him anything. They could send him anywhere he wants next year. They're not going to blink twice about it. And then this is Justin's team. But it was good. It was cool. Pop off Steelers.
Yeah, no, Mike Tomlin, you know, he kind of knows what he's doing. You know, he's been around for a long time. He wins a lot of games.
He does.
But
never had a losing record.
On the true. On the losing side of things, the Jets are not going to the playoffs.
No, the Jets are so bad.
Awful.
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 Which just
Yeah.
makes no sense in my mind.
Davante Adams just was like, "What's a football?"
And then also, did you hear him in the locker room after the game? He
Yeah.
was like, "This is the struggles this team has had all season." I was like, "Bro, you got there 4 days ago." Like,
You don't even have a home.
no, you're having sleepovers with Aaron.
You're
Like,
having sleepovers and you're eating his food. Like, they're having dinners together and, like, does DeAndre Hopkins, oh my god. Does Davante Adams have a wife?
yes, and a child.
Like, where is she?
Aaron's probably telling him, "You don't need a family. I left mine."
Yeah. Cut that. We're putting that on the internet. Oh my god, that's so funny. But yeah, 100%. Like, literally, poor Garrett Wilson. I'm like justice for Garrett Wilson team.
Yep.
Because like it's just falling apart, and Woody Johnson is just like at his beck and call. And unfortunately, there's a reason why you are a quarterback. You are supposed to play quarterback. You are not the owner. You are not the GM of this team. You are not the boss. You can obviously, as a veteran, say like, "Hey, I think this. I think this. I would love to have this." And they'd be like, "Yes, Aaron, we will take that into consideration." At the end of the day, freaking Woody, put your foot down. Put
Like,
your foot down and do what you think is best for this team, not what Aaron Rodgers thinks is best for this team. And that's coming from me and Jordyn, who have always loved Aaron Rodgers for a really long time. So
no,
it's like, I'm so pissed at him for being so shitty.
it's so insane to think about how much power he has on the Jets. Like, he doesn't like the coach. He's not vibing with the coach. Done. Coach is gone. Oh, I missed my bestie, and Mike Williams dropped a pass that could have won us this game. Bring Davante Adams in. Like, and they just do. Like,
Get Mike Williams out of there. Send him back to LA.
please, Justin needs so much
Justin's
help.
fucking drowning over there. And they're the Chargers, the toasters in the water. He's gonna go soon. Like,
Yeah.
he's gonna die. And we cannot see another Philip Rivers. I can't do it. Not Justin Herbert. He is like, I just want to see that kid succeed. And he's just like falling apart at the seams. Like, no one's watching Chargers game. I did not watch a single second of
No.
that Cardinals Chargers game on Monday. Fuck those Monday night doubleheaders. I hate them. They're stupid. I can't take it anymore.
They're awful. But yeah, no, it literally just had the score. And I think it was like halftime, and it was like 3-6. And I
Yeah.
was like, there's no way it can stay like this, right? And then it just was not changing. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Oh, so bad. So bad. And I see what they were I don't know if I was watching the Manning cast, so Scott Hansen was like jumping in and like giving us like a red zone update on like Cardinals Chargers. And like the idea was there, but like you have Payne and Eli who are sitting there just, mouth open, big forehead, doing their thing. I respect them very, very much, but like they have a very different vibe than Scott Hansen. And Scott Hansen comes in, he's like, "All right, fellas, we're looking at this Cardinals Chargers game. This is what's going on. This is the play that happened." And then we go back, and then Eli's just like, "All right, Bill Belichick's here, and he's gonna talk about how shitty this team is, and he's just gonna rip Gerard Mayo and like whatever." And it's just like, come on,
Yes.
figure this out. No more Monday night doubleheaders. They're stupid, and I get stressed out. Just put on
Or if you're going, you clearly own the Red Zone platform. Why can't you just stream both? Like,
literally, I don't understand. Like,
you have the technology, people would pay for it. You have the talent, even if it's not the Manning brothers or Scott Hansen, there is someone out there that could commentate and host a mini. Me and Sam will do it. Like,
fuck it. We ball.
Fuck it, we ball.
Fuck it, we ball. Let's do it. Put
But
us
yeah,
on
no,
the
they
fucking
need
call.
the NFL has too much money, too many brains, too much shit to not have this figured out at this point.
And you know there's a backup to Scott Hansen. The guy is not a freaking superhuman. He's gonna get ill at some point. I'm sure he
Yes.
takes very good care of himself, but like God forbid something happens to Scott Hansen. They definitely have someone on deck who steps in. Didn't they have who was it? Was it Mike Garafolo? They had somebody doing it once with that. Like Scott Hansen wasn't there. They were doing it for something else. Anyway, like they have
Pat
people.
McAfee was doing it for college.
Honestly, I'd watch that.
No, I wanted that to be a thing so bad. Because there's no way to watch. Like there's no red zone style for. I don't know if I just spoke English there.
You
There's
did.
no red zone style for college.
College, yeah. Yeah, no, it's I just can't take it anymore. But yeah, the Jets bad. Bills good.
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 Did you see Josh Allen posted the Haley Steinfeld on his story?
No.
Oh my god, I'll text it for you. I have a screenshot of it because I was like, oh, and I like got so excited. It's like a one of her magazine covers.
Are
And he
you
like
fucking kidding me? He is so obsessed with her.
he's so obsessed with her. And he literally it's like a picture of her picture of her magazine cover, and he just puts a heart at the top. And
Are
it's like
you kidding?
he's like, oh, that's my lady. So cute. I love that. But anyway, yeah, Bills are good. I don't know if there was anything else really crazy from week 7 that is even worth talking about. That 4 o'clock window was a snoozer.
It really, really was. Let's have the conversation. The Vikings are the real deal.
Vikings are good.
Vikings are good. Did you hear that rumor that's circulating?
About what?
About Matthew Stafford being traded to the Vikings?
Oh, he shut them down, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, good. I didn't hear an update.
Like Stafford himself was like, no.
No.
Also, why would you do that? Sam Darnold's doing perfectly fine.
That's what I said. And I was like, and you have JJ McCarthy, and I understand if you want to like develop JJ McCarthy, you'd rather have him learn from Matthew Stafford. Like, I get that logic. But at the same time, is it worth like blowing up your season? Because I'm sure they can't get Matthew Stafford without giving Sam Darnold. Like, there's no way that they'd be like, oh, yeah, you keep your incredible quarterback. We're going to give you our quarterback, and we're just going to vibe. Like,
yeah. It did not make any sense.
No.
But I saw Stafford did come out and say he was just like, I'm good. I'm just gonna stay over here.
Yeah, like as he should. I would not want to leave LA for Minnesota at this point in my career either.
Also, as Sam Darnold, I'd be so offended.
Right.
I would be like, bro, we only just lost this game to a divisional rival.
Wait, they won, didn't they? The Lions won?
The Lions won.
What?
Unless, am I wrong?
Oh no, Lions did win. What the fuck am I thinking
But
of?
look at the score. It's 31-29.
Yes. No, it was a great game.
And there was a time like the Vikings rallied and they came back and we were like, holy shit, if the Lions don't score, then the Vikings are going to win. And like it was going to like so they did play very good. And which game was it? I think it was when the Vikings played the Texans. He had a 0 interception, 4 touchdown game. Like the kid's on fire. Don't stop the momentum. It's like very like yeah, okay, now they're not undefeated, but they're 5-1.
No, and they're good. Like the Vikings are good. I literally said this game against the Lions, who just completely destroyed the Cowboys, like that. I was like, this is going to be a very telling game. And you know what? Now I am remembering because I was convinced that was a 4 o'clock game. And then I was so disappointed it was a 1 o'clock game because the Eagles were playing. And again, I got to be happy about the Eagles. So I probably missed the end. And I think I saw that the Vikings were up at some point.
They were
to the end.
They got back up. They were rallying.
The Vikings scare me. Like if the Eagles get their shit together.
Yeah.
You still have to take down the Lions and the Vikings.
Yeah, no, they are very good. The Lions are also very good, rallying without Aiden Hutchinson. Like the NFC North, all of a sudden, I'm pretty sure I saw something somewhere that like if the season ended today, the entire NFC North would be in the playoffs.
Mm-mm.
So it's like powerhouses, even the Bears,
Yep.
who are kind of good, I guess. I feel like
They're
they keep
average
getting lucky.
leaning good.
I feel like they keep just getting lucky.
Yes. Yes.
Like they're getting bailed out every week, and like it's very confusing about Caleb Williams because like he is good, but is he Jaden Daniels good? Nope.
Also, I know we're already over and there's still one more thing that we want to talk about or touch on. But I need your thoughts on Bo Nix because I am convinced that Bo Nix has potential.
I thought Bo Nix sucked, and then all of a sudden he was just like, actually, I'm actually not that bad.
Yeah,
And
he
I
was
was
like,
like,
I'm pretty good at this thing.
and I was like, oh my god, Bo Nix, like Slay King, love that for you.
He's still playing like a rookie. Like he still looks a little frantic, a little rushed, but like I don't know. I think with a little TLC, but I don't know if he'll ever be like the greatest quarterback of all time, but I think Bo Nix could be a good NFL quarterback.
I think so too. And I think a lot of people were underestimating him and the Broncos as a whole. And like they're just kind of doing their thing.
Yeah.
And they're winning games.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're losing games. And it's just
Yeah.
like they're gonna be very middle of the pack this year, but you're right. The potential's there. I mean, and they got him, what it was 10, 11 in the draft. Something like that.
They waited.
They waited, and yeah, Bo Nix. And it's like just fun to say his name. And then him and Sean Payton got into like a fight on the sideline. I don't think it was this week, maybe it was last week. And they asked him about it. Like the media was just like, what happened there? And he goes, oh, well, coach just came over to tell me that he loved me, and then I told him that I loved him back. And I was like, oh my God, Bo Nix, you're really fucking funny.
You're
and
adorable.
That just adds to it. Like, because like obviously they were like arguing about something on the sidelines. He goes, no, he just came over to tell me that he loves me. And I was like, oh my God.
No, that's the cutest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, no, overall.
And, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do you have any final thoughts on Bo Nix?
No.
I was going to say, I need to give you your moment before we close out the show because there was a lot of negativity this episode surrounding the Giants. However, your baseball team is on their way to the World Series.
Okay. Literally, every time something bad happened to the Giants on Sunday, Jordyn would just text me, the Yankees are going to the World Series. And I was like, you're so right.
Yeah.
You're so right. Actually, this Sunday, this Giants-Eagles Sunday was the most Jordyn and I ever spoke to each other during the game. And I think it was just because I was just like, fuck this. I'm not even paying attention to it. But yes, the Yankees are going to the World Series. By the time this episode comes out, the game will be Friday. Mm-hmm. So, and it's going to be in LA. They got on the plane today. They're on their way. And, you know, we got Garrett in the mix here. Like, I'm feeling good, but I'm not like, we're taking this, no problem. Like, you know, it's going to be a bit of a journey because you have fucking Shohei Ohtani to go up against. Literally an insane, one of the best probably baseball players in the league of all time.
One of the best athletes of all time.
Unreal. The guy's unreal. But yeah, I'm pretty fucking stoked because so I was at a bachelorette party over the weekend, and when you're at a bachelorette party, I'll let you know, baseball's really not number one on the menu there. But the bride, whose name's also Sam, shout out Sam, is a Yankee fan, and I obviously am a Yankee fan. And Saturday night, we went out, we did our thing, whatever. We came back. For some reason, we were watching like old 90s music videos for like 3 hours. Don't ask me why. It was a lot of fun. But Sam and I were sitting on the floor on the carpet with my phone watching the 9th inning, and we were like, oh my god, we're about to go to the World Series. And literally then they pop up into, I think it was right field, gets the catch, and I was like, holy shit, we're going to the World Series. And then we were like sitting down and we were just like kicking our feet like, oh my goodness. So it's very exciting, and I am very happy that a New York team is doing this. It's been 15 years in the making here. I've been waiting very, very patiently for my team to do something at all. Quick shout out though to a New York team. The fucking New York Liberty won the WNBA finals. I'm so stoked for Sabrina. I'm so stoked for Stewie. I'm so stoked for that entire team to get that ring. They really deserved it. They've been working real hard, and I just wanted to shout them out because they are not the only New York team to be this good. So, yeah.
No, I'm happy for you. And I remember the joy and the excitement that I felt when my baseball team didn't suck. So I'm very glad.
They were in the playoffs.
Yeah, but we sucked.
Yeah.
We sucked. And also, it hurts more just because, like, we were the best team in baseball all year. And it's like the second it mattered, everyone was just dead. I was like, where's the life? Where's the passion?
Yeah.
More energy, more passion, more passion. That's what the Phillies needed. We didn't get it. And now the Dodgers and the Yankees are in the World Series. So we will keep you updated on Sam's World Series journey. I don't really care either way. I guess I'm not rooting for the Yankees by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm rooting for Sam's joy, and I will support that throughout everything, because we love Sam here, even with our different locations and different sports teams. So if you love us, make sure to give this episode a thumbs up and subscribe to us here on the YouTube channel. If you do not already, make sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. I don't even know why that's still in there. I don't think
we should take that out
here. At the Unsolicited _ podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Sam and Jordyn. And then, of course, we're also available wherever you get your audio podcasts. Thank you guys so much for listening. There were so many topics to hit this week. So feel free to drop all of your thoughts, all of your feelings in the comments down below, and we will be interacting with you guys there. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.